are here in the Fight Network studios with Dr. Chris Oswald. Chris, welcome.
Nice to see you, Jorge.
First of all, how did you become involved with Agency Wars, the event coming up?
Bit of a story. My publicist, Sean Ireland, is best friends with Christina and Michael, who started Agency Wars, and we got involved a little bit last year, but this year officially launched as their pain management specialist and part of their conditioning team.
Now tell me, boxing, and you've worked with many athletes in the past. You have athletes who are endorsing your product, which we'll get to as well. But boxing specifically, is there any added kind of impact onto the joints and onto the back that the athletes inside a boxing ring experience?
Absolutely. So whether we're dealing with amateurs or professionals, there's a heck of a lot of strain and contraction at the same time. So it makes for a bit of a complicated process, but a lot of these injuries come from the rib cage in the upper back, the nerve structures in the shoulder, the nerve structures in the neck, upper neck. We get a lot of headaches, we get a lot of numbness tingling in the arms. So we've had a lot of fun putting these people back together again after they sit all day on a computer, getting stiffer and stiffer, and then come out and start conditioning. But the best part is that the conditioning has been done so well, I found, with their team that they do respond very fast to what we're doing in the office.
Well, and I'm sure if it's working well with beginners who are getting involved with their first boxing match, I know, for example, Evander Holyfield has always said that his chiropractor is the reason why he's been able to have a career the length that it has been.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just keep resetting those tissues back to normal rather than letting that culmination of injury build and build and build until you break too soon.
Tell me about MuscleCare. You're wearing the shirt. I know you have some product hidden here as well. So tell me about the company.
So what happened is after 26 years in practice, 11,000 patients, we got really frustrated with the topical pain business. A lot of these things just made people hot or cold. And I wanted to make something that actually did physically take away spasm, pain, and inflammation, and was actually proven. So our product is actually proven in a published double blind to outperform the national brands. And what I want to do is, I just do a test to show you really fast. So can I do it a hand muscle or a thumb muscle test?
Absolutely.
Which hand do you write with?
That's my
okay,
right-handed.
So just tell us on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain do you feel when I touch this particular muscle?
That's 8.
8? All right, let's try the other one. On this one, give me the same, any pain at all?
Not quite as much, a little bit less.
A little bit less?
5.
All right. We're going to say that the right side is bad. It's an 8 out of 10. We'll just take MuscleCare in a roll-on form. It's made of mostly magnesium and glucosamine and about 8 other natural ingredients. It's going to soak in really quickly, and the best part about this is that it acts very fast. So it's going to go in 20 to 30 seconds. It's magnesium, just relaxes muscles. So again, with all the hitting and all the punching from the spasm and strain, we're going to get immediate relaxation. Fresh blood comes in, pushes out the inflammation, and resets things immediately. It doesn't stay on for long. So again, it goes in 30 seconds. This will be dry in another 20. But I'll even touch you now to show you what's transpired. So is there any pain at all left?
No, I mean, it's almost like a freezing sensation.
Well, it is, but also look at the muscle, how much softer the muscles got. Instead of being a hard mass, it's released and relaxed. So that's a better way for you to go. We have all of these athletes are using it before and after they condition to prevent the buildup of chronic tension, which again predisposes them to injury.
Have you noticed that hand injuries and treating the hands of new fighters is particularly important because most people haven't punched anything before?
Well, it's funny, they haven't, but this new pain syndrome we talk about with all the texting and everything else that people are doing, the thumb joints are getting creamed. So you add that to the new boxing that they've undertaken, their hands are getting toasted. Lots of tendonitis, lots of joint problems, so actually we are doing hand and wrist treatments quite a bit.
I saw that you guys were targeting video gamers as well, or gamer's thumb.
Well, we did that for a new vertical.
Yeah.
No one sort of got down that path, but it said that with all these kids texting, 3,000 and 4,000 times a month, sometimes up to 30,000 times a month, the thumbs are wearing down. Most authorities are saying that 80% of kids, by the time they hit 30, they're not going to have any thumb joints left, osteoarthritis bound. So what we're trying to do is prevent that from happening.
You guys have had some fantastic celebrity endorsement. Jamal Charles, Glenn Davis, David Boland,
right.
Some of the best water skiers in the world as well. How did you become involved with those guys?
We originally got introduced to them through my book agent. I wrote a stretching book originally, and they introduced us through their LA-based firm that does all the athletes. And then Dave Boland was our first. Dave was great. No one believed in Dave until, of course, I said Dave's going to be great one day, and we signed him very economically prior to him scoring the game-winning goal in Chicago series, right?
Yes,
it was
awesome. I'm a Blackhawks fan. Did MuscleCare make that happen? Because then I
might
have to buy a lifetime supply.
Of course it did.
Okay,
of course
perfect.
it did. Yeah, great. Dave says it does. Dave says it makes a difference. He uses it before and after he plays as well.
What are some things that people can do, your weekend warriors, your athletes at home, what are some things that people can do before they go to a doctor, before they have to medicate to maybe improve their overall joint health?
I think joint health has a lot to do with muscle health. So I'm a huge advocate of daily stretching. I stretch every morning in the shower for 15 to 20 minutes. I always try to reset myself to the way I was the day before. And I tell people that when they're doing it, they're almost becoming their own sort of assessor, in that if they stretch one way and it feels great and they go the other way and it doesn't feel as good, obviously they've got a problem on that side, and they can actually stretch that area longer, trying to create a balance on their own. If they can't do it, then they can go to somebody else. But at least they're checking themselves and trying their best to manage themselves.
Have you noticed that there's an increase, especially with the new workout crazes that are out there, and especially with the enthusiasm that's out there for CrossFit and a lot of repetitive motion?
Absolutely.
Have you noticed more injuries now as a result of that?
Absolutely, absolutely. CrossFit has been an incredible business booster, shall we say,
Right.
for guys like me. It's often done a little bit too, call it zealously when they go at it. I do prefer, I prefer different types of workout, to be very honest with you. I don't mind the boxing, but as long as it's interspersed with the yoga, stretching, and other things, and even the conditioning with weights, that kind of stuff all together means for a more well-balanced workout and less injuries, always sustained in the same place. CrossFit definitely has been hard on joints.
Well, if they do happen to bang themselves up, where can they get their hands on MuscleCare?
You can get MuscleCare at musclecare.net. That's my website. Or you can get it at Rexall Pharma Plus in Canada.